Hello guys, welcome to a new video. Today we are talking about the newest iteration of Sadako. Old Sadako had a big ass outcry. And now with the newest iteration, which is supposed to be a buff from her OG state, everything went quiet. Even the Sadako mains went quiet, they just kind of disappeared. Even One Pump Willy started to play different killers, mostly. What happened? Now, the things that are supposed to be stronger than her original version, I'm gonna list them up. She cannot be stunned while they manifested. Let's talk about that. Is it actually useful? I mean, it's pretty neat. It's the kind of detail. She's demanifested. Why should she stunned? Does it do much? Not really. You are either on the wrong side of the palette or you are on the side with them, but they can just, vault over while you desperately try to manifest, which pretty much gives you no value except for being able to destroy a palette sooner, which is not bad, but also not good. And let's be honest, even if she could straight up walk through downed pallets, it would still do nothing because, like I said, once you manifest, they can just vault over, no problem. Second change, she is now invisible for longer while she flickers out when she's demanifested, which is just objectively a buff. Like, I'm not gonna say that it isn't, but we have to keep in mind that now the duration is the same as the nerfed Raker's Watch, which nobody used because it was too bad. So it doesn't really make a difference on its own. Just if you use the new Raker's Watch as well, and then you just go back to the old Raker's Watch duration. So in the end, it doesn't really do anything. I think the lunge after teleporting is a little bit longer, this is good, but people still make the nearest palette most of the time. Actually, even with the bloody fingernails, they mostly still take the nearest palette. So even though it's, objectively a buff, it also doesn't do too much. She can now condemn anybody on any TV, which in theory could let you teleport to every wrong TV first to then give one person at the last TV 6 condemn stacks at once. And now you're like, wow, this is so strong. Yeah, if they just stand there for 6 fucking teleports instead of turning the TV off, which I have actually seen people argue why should I go off my gen just to turn a TV off? Bro, every TV spawns around the fucking gen. It's not it's not like you're wasting a lot of time. It's so bad, it does nothing because while in these really perfect situation, it would be OP. This situation is never gonna happen as long as the survivor just knows that they can interact with the TV to just completely counter this. And then of course we have the locked in condemn, which got nerfed because of the point I mentioned before. Let me actually explain the locked in condemn. At hook, you can lock in 3 condemn stacks at most of the survivor you hook, which means that at its peak potential, right, you can lock in 6 on death hook. So you only need 1 teleport to condemn. Yeah, that sounds nice. Then you down them and they are dead either way if you hook him or condemn. I mean, I guess you're safe from flashlight saves, but this should not be a strong part of your power because it doesn't really help you all that much. It is worth as much as looking at a wall, which would also counter flashlight save. But in general, right? In general, it's still a buff from the OG Sadako. Now let's look at the counterplay, which, got a little bit more simple. Let's do it fast. OG Sadako, you needed twice as long to take out a tape. So what you had to do to put away a tape mid-chase is being healthy, trying to put away a tape. She would hit you. You would have time to put it away while she's on cooldown. She would hit you again. You are down. You take it down for tape. Not too bad considering that she's not gonna hook you anyways. And then we have the new one, half as long. So you can just conveniently do it mid-chase and maybe even do the next pallet. Even if you are on a gen, you start seeing or hearing her lullaby, you can conveniently just walk over to the fucking TV, put it away, and run. You'll probably get hit once if you do that, but even in that case, 3 stacks away for 1 fucking hit. Come on, man. Then, of course, you see the auras of every TV around you now. Which, if you don't know, what Sadako's used to do on OG Sadako is cut you off by teleporting to the TV near to you. While you knew where the TVs should be to some degree, because, everybody knows TVs spawn around gens, you did not know the exact locations, which would lead her to maybe be able to cut you off, or maybe not if you already seen the TV. Now you just know the exact location she's gonna teleport to every single time. And of course, the thing we Sadako mains love the most, having a tape up your ass, the entire game doesn't punish you anymore. If you don't know, OG Sadako, if you held a tape, you would slowly, passively gain condemn. This is not there anymore. You know, you need 1 second to put the tape away and you don't even get punished if you have it up your ass the whole game. Great, love it. The counterplay is so hard, man. Now you probably slowly get the picture. The ways they made the counterplay easier affects the game much more than the little buff they gave her. And this is not where it ends. The strongest part about OG Sadako was her add-ons. She had 2 strong ones and the rest was kind of meh. She had the iridescent videotape. If you teleport and hit somebody in, I think, 8 seconds, I don't want to look it up right now, but I think it was 8 seconds, the TV you last turned off will turn on again. And the second one, the ring drawing. If you got healed by any means, so if you get picked up, if you go from injured to healthy, the guy healing you would gain a stack of condemn. Now, while this is pretty strong because it gives Sadako ways to condemn you passively, which is actually something she needs, you could actually kind of counter it by healing somebody to 99% and then letting them heal themselves for the last 1% with a medkit, which would lead to nobody gaining any condemn because the add-on would not affect healing yourself. And now where they reworked both, the iridescent add-on, which, let me say, iridescent add-ons are supposed to kind of break the game. Like overall, they are supposed to be too strong. Yeah, well, her iridescent tape is now a meme add-on. And the ring drawing, what it does is if you hook somebody, everybody else gains 1 stack of condemn, which is kind of meh. So Sadako mains have moved on to the next strongest perks. But if you remember, as I said before, those were the only really strong ones and the other ones were kind of meh. So, you know, her strongest add-ons are now kind of meh. And let me tell you, I actually don't care that the iridescent tape is gone. I never actually used it. I prefer to have the fingernails anyways, but the ring drawing. The big problem Sadako has right now is that she has no passive condemn gain. None at all. So she has to force the condemn if she wants to have any value from it. This is a all-in playstyle. Either you go for hook and you're probably not gonna get any kill from condemned because of how easy the counterplay is, especially on high MMR, or you completely set all your cards into condemning people, at which point you maybe get people, but then again, I've seen people being pretty cheeky with it. I've seen people turn off TVs for their friends mid-chase so that I couldn't teleport to them, which is actually a smart idea. And then again on high MMR, same problem as OG Sadako, she's an M1 killer. And if we think about high MMR, we have people that run killers with actual chase powers for 5 gens, and there's cute little Sadako, which is a M1 killer. What the fuck is she gonna do? Go in a corner and cry? Which kind of leaves her off as worse as she was in her OG state. In her OG state, she was considered to be a low tier killer. She was strong against new players because they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And she was incredibly weak against high tier survivors, especially coordinated teams. And now she is as bad as she was before against coordinated teams, but the counterplay is much easier for the new players. And this fact led many people to drop her. She is, like I said, either you go for hook and don't really care about condemn, or you go all in for a high risk, medium reward, I would guess, kind of playstyle. Her good add-ons are gone, they will never come back, and Sadako, once causing massive outcries, has been forgotten by the Dead by Daylight community. Thanks for watching. I want to say that this is not really Behavior's fault. I personally think that it's more the fault of the player base. They had a massive outcry against the killer that they would maybe face once a month, and where even less of those would actually use that playstyle. It's not like Skull Merchant, where every single game you would get one and all of them would do the same. It was really not like that. And Behavior just listened. Anyways, we have a Twitch, we have a Discord, both in the description below. I would appreciate a like, or if you would subscribe, and see you next time.
I love this guy. This Kuro.
Yeah, Kuro's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Kuro, no one appreciates you.